What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and welcome to my 10K Q&A special. You guys asked me so many great questions, and unfortunately I don't think I'm gonna have time to get around to answering all of them. So I'm gonna try to answer the more popular and more interesting ones, and without further ado, let's jump right on in. First up, we have a question that a ton of people were asking me, which is my competitive rank and golden weapons. For the past few seasons, I've mainly been hovering around low diamond. If I finish my placements and I'm below that in high platinum or something, I'll then just grind my way up to diamond, and generally that's all the competitive I really play. I'm not a big competitive player. As for the golden weapons, I currently have 4, being for D.Va, Zarya, Reinhardt, and Roadhog. I almost have enough points to get a 5th, and when I do, that will be for Orisa. How many hours of Overwatch do you play on a regular day? Well, to be honest, it's not anything extreme. Maybe 2 to 3 hours depending on how much free time I have, maybe 4 if I'm really into it that day. I don't know if maybe you guys think of me as some crazy addicted lunatic who just plays 24/7, because it's really not like that. I play it a fair amount, but by no means constantly or anything. Is Overwatch the only Blizzard game you play? Or have there been other Blizzard games you played / still play before Overwatch? So the very first Blizzard game I ever played was actually World of Warcraft. Back in high school, I tried it out for a little bit because they had that like free until level 20 thing, and I didn't really like it that much. I'm not big into MMOs, so I didn't stick around playing it for very long. I dabbled a little bit in the original StarCraft back around that time, but again, I didn't really play a whole lot of it. It honestly wasn't until Overwatch came around that I really played a Blizzard game consistently at all. Since I started playing Overwatch, I've also tried StarCraft 2, which again, I couldn't really get that much into, and I also play a bit of Heroes of the Storm, which I enjoy every now and again, but not nearly as much as Overwatch. Who is your main? Now, this is yet another question that I got a lot of people asking me, and in response to this one in particular, Caden Wolf and Zmayer Tag, both regular commenters on my channel, went ahead and gave their ideas as for what I would answer with, one of them saying D.Va and the other one Orisa. Well, as it turns out, they're technically both right. For about the first year and a half after Overwatch came out, I was a D.Va main. Even still, she's by far the hero I have the most playtime on. However, over the past about 6 months or so, I found myself playing a lot more Orisa. So while I definitely used to be a D.Va main, nowadays I honestly consider myself to be more of an Orisa main. Then again, with Hammond coming to live servers pretty soon, there's a good chance that he might become my new main as well, because oh my god, I just love playing him. And coming off of the previous question, what's your least favorite D.Va skin? And what's your favorite D.Va skin? For my least favorite skin, I would definitely have to say now, the mech part of the D.Va and Junebug skins is alright, I guess, but I really do not like D.Va's outfit in these skins at all. I think it looks really kind of not that interesting or exciting, so yeah, I would have to say that these are my least favorite skins for her. My favorite skin, however, is by far the Junker skin, which is the one that I currently use and have been using for quite a while at this point. And similarly to this previous question, what is your favorite and least favorite skin for your main? Now, since D.Va and Orisa are technically kind of both my mains, for Orisa, my favorite is absolutely the Null Sector skin. And least favorite, well, honestly, I don't know if I really have one. I'd probably have to go with the Immortal skin from the Blizzard World update, but even that one I still think looks pretty nice. What's your favorite map and why? Well, Sven, I think you're actually gonna really like this answer, because it's Junkertown. Now, the reason for this is that aesthetically, it is by far one of my favorites. As I've talked about before, I am a huge Mad Max fan, and so having this Junker post-apocalyptic theme looks really cool in my opinion. But additionally, I think it's also one of the more fun maps to play on. The vast open spaces through most of the map makes for some really unique gameplay, especially leading up to the final point. So when it comes down to it, it's just my favorite in both looks and gameplay. And speaking of the Junkers, if you could create any kind of event event for Overwatch, what sort of event would it be, and what kind of game modes would you include for it? If I got to come up with my own event, it would absolutely be Junker themed. I'm not really sure what sort of game mode it would include with it, but as for skins, everybody gets Junker skins. Everybody, and I guarantee you I will equip them on every single hero that has them. Also, before I move on, CMG is actually a pretty cool dude who's got his own channel where he plays Overwatch and other video games. I totally recommend you go check him out, and I'll have a link to his channel down in the description of this video. What or who brought you to Overwatch? Now, this is another question that I got quite a few people asking me, and there's actually a bit of an interesting story behind it. To be honest, I have nobody to thank aside from Blizzard's own marketing techniques. Prior to the release of Overwatch, I was very much so into playing TF2, and so once I started seeing advertisements for this brand new hero shooter coming out, naturally I was a bit intrigued. However, initially I wasn't very optimistic about the game. My first impression of it came from the initial trailer featuring the Doomfist gauntlet heist at the museum, and when I saw that the cast of characters included a teleporting British girl, an intelligent gorilla scientist, some weird blue alien lady, and what I assumed was just literally the Grim Reaper, I was kind of thinking, what the heck even is this game? As I looked more into it and saw a bit more of the hero cast, I became more and more intrigued, especially when it came to heroes like Bastion and Reinhardt, but I didn't really end up deciding that I even liked the game until I tried the open beta, which I almost didn't even try. If I recall, that was back in early May of 2016, which also just so happened to be the weekend before my semester finals. Understandably, I didn't have a whole ton of free time that weekend, but I was really interested in trying it out, and so I went to sign up for a Blizzard, or I guess Battle.net account, and lo and behold, it turns out I already had an account associated with my email address, because, as I said before, I had tried World of Warcraft way back in high school. Not having a lot of free time at that point, and generally just being lazy, I decided, okay, I'll just try some random passwords that it might be, and if it isn't one of those, I'm not even going to bother with the password recovery. I'm just gonna let it go and not even bother trying it. Well, thankfully, one of the passwords I tried ended up working. I signed in, downloaded Overwatch, started playing, and within probably the first 2 or so matches, I was hooked. The gameplay was phenomenal. I was having so much fun with it that I ended up spending probably a bit more time than I should have playing it that weekend. But overall, I am so glad that I actually decided to go through and try the game because, well, I wouldn't be where I am today without having done so. So yeah, there wasn't really a specific person who got me into the game or anything. It was basically just me being intrigued with it based off of my prior experience loving TF2, and yeah, things just ended up working out, and now it's one of my favorite games. What's the story behind those video game soundtrack videos you uploaded a few years ago? Now, most of you probably don't know what he's talking about here, but if you go back to the oldest videos on my channel, there's a bunch of 10-hour and 3-hour videos of just repeated music from video games. There's not really much of a story behind it other than when I was young, I was interested in YouTube, and at the same time, really liked certain songs from certain video games. So I thought, hey, why not upload a super long version of these songs so I can listen to them without having to turn it on repeat or clicking play over and over again. And yeah, that's kinda how I first got started on YouTube. Describe your dream future hero for Overwatch with abilities and all. Once again, this is a popular question I got, and to put it simply, Blaze from Heroes of the Storm. This character is pretty much verbatim exactly what I would love to see with a new hero in Overwatch. So if you're not familiar with him, or at least with the Firebats from StarCraft, then I recommend you look him up and see his abilities from Heroes of the Storm to see exactly what that entails. I already answered questions 1 and 3 for this, but do you think aliens or lizard people exist, and if so, is Jeff Kaplan one of them? I think aliens are real, but I don't think they've ever visited Earth. Lizard people, I'm not convinced, and believe it or not, but I think Jeff Kaplan might just be another person like you and me. Hey, congratulations on 10K. Thanks, man. My question is, what is your current relationship status?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Would a weapon selection for each hero, much like TF2, be good for the game, and if so, any ideas on what other weapons some select choice heroes could use? While I really like the weapon select system in TF2, I don't think it would work well at all in Overwatch, mainly because the heroes themselves in Overwatch are a lot simpler than the characters in TF2, so giving them various weapons I think would just make everything kind of complicated and messy. So yeah, I don't think it would work as much as I like the concept, but I just don't think it's fitting for Overwatch. What are your future plans for your channel regarding non-Overwatch content, if any? At some point I might start to branch out and do more non-Overwatch content, but that's really not something I'm planning to do anytime soon. Why did Grandpa jump off the 23rd floor? Come on, Tom. You know Aunt Jean told us not to talk about that anymore. If you ever had a choice, you could be any hero in Overwatch for a day, who would it be? I'd have to say Bastion, because A, I get to be a robot for a day, B, transforming into a turret looks pretty fun, and C, I get to have a cool little bird buddy. As for the second part of your comment, I'm not really sure if you're asking how my day is just in general, or if you're asking how my day as Bastion would be. So if the former, it's going great, and if the latter, I don't know, I guess I'd go conquer a German city or something. And please, tell me how your day is down in the comments below. Alright, moving on now, let's go into a lightning round of questions. I'm going to try to answer as many questions as I can as quickly as I can, so let's get started. For future hero nationalities, I would love to see Canadian/Native American. You can't get friend-zoned if you don't know anybody. What is Newton's second law of physics? A payload in motion stays. Cookies. Beer. My favorite potato is June. I assume you meant godfather and not grandfather here, in which case the answer would be Jeff Goodman. Ha, you thought I was going to say Kaplan, but nope, psych. Yup, sure do. Definitely a cat person. My offense mains are Doomfist/Reaper. Defense would be Junkrat. Support would be maybe Moira and Brigitte, not really sure on that one. I don't really know how to play any instruments. Probably go with Hammond's mech, cause oh my god is he fun to play as. If I were in charge for a day, I would double Genji's health pool and watch the Overwatch subreddit destroy itself. I probably won't make any more Fortnite videos because I've gradually been losing interest in that game as a whole. Depending on what all they end up doing with Season 5, I might get more invested in it again, but for the time being, probably not. I think ships are a vital part of the world's transportation infrastructure. JK, I know that's not what you were asking. Favorite Winston skin is Specimen 28. Sukubliet? Da. My other favorite YouTubers include Valve News Network, Arlo, Edoops, ReviewBra, Dr. Lauv, and Oniplays, just to name a few. And that'll do it for the lightning round. Now at this point I will mention something that I should have said in the Q&A announcement video, which is that this is technically my second channel Q&A. I did my first one back when I hit 2,000 subscribers, and I got some of you guys asking me questions which I answered in detail back in that video. So if your question didn't get answered, or you're interested in hearing things such as the origin of my profile picture, and the first hero I played in Overwatch, then you can check those out through the original Q&A linked through the card on screen. I will just warn you though that it is one of my older videos, so the quality isn't that great. And with that, thank you all so much for watching, leaving all these great, amazing questions, and overall, just giving your support for my channel. I apologize that I couldn't end up answering everybody's questions, but hey, there's always next time. You guys are the real MVPs here, so honestly, I cannot thank you enough. If you enjoyed this video, then be sure to hit that like button and share with a friend if you really liked it. Subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and turn on notifications to both help out my channel and keep up with all my future Overwatch content. This is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.